Hi there, it's Harry from Invoice. Invoice makes it easy to create invoices without ever leaving HubSpot. And today, we're going to walk you through how to create your first invoice from HubSpot and send it through to Xero. For this demo, we're going to assume you've already got Invoice set up and you're using Xero as your accounting platform. If not, check out our other videos for a walkthrough. Let's get started. With Invoice, creating an invoice starts with a deal. So here's our deal on HubSpot. You can see I've got a contact and a company attached. And scrolling down the right-hand side, I've got some line items that have come from a quote I've created. If you're not using quotes, don't worry. We'll walk you through the process of how to create your line items. Invoice sits in the sidebar of your HubSpot deal. If you can't see it, you might need to scroll down to the bottom to find it, and you can always drag it up to the top. If you can't see Invoice at all, check with your admin to make sure Invoice is properly installed. To start creating my invoice, all I'm going to do is click this button for Create Invoices, and Invoice will open up. Let's take a look at the Invoice window. The first thing we see here is our line items have been filled out automatically and an invoice created. This is because we've taken them from the line items on your HubSpot deal. You can see on the left-hand side here, the SKU code for the product inside Xero. This means that the sales and tax rate are all imported straight from Xero, meaning you don't need to touch a thing. If you're adding line items manually, all you need to do is click Add Line Item, start typing in the name of the product, and select the item and add the price. It's as easy as that. These line items can be dragged and dropped, they can be deleted, and you can even create another invoice and drag line items into that one. I can check the total at the top here. There's a green light that shows when your deal total matches the amount that you've invoiced for. Here, I've added an extra line item, so it's showing red to show my deal is £1,000 over the deal total. If I want to create more than one invoice, I can either use the button down here, or you can make use of Invoice split invoice feature and choose an option from the sidebar. This option, for example, is set to give me 50% upfront and 50% later, but these can be configured by your admin. Checking out the rest of our invoice, we have an invoice date and an invoice due date. The invoice due date is imported from Xero automatically. Next, we have the status field. There are two different options for sending invoices through to Xero. You could either send them through as draft invoices for your finance team to check and approve, or if you want to send them straight away, you can set this option to authorized, and that means after you've synced your invoices, you'll have a send button, which will allow you to send invoices from HubSpot straight away. You might see different options depending on the settings that your admin have set up. Next, we have a reference field. This should be filled out automatically for you. You can configure it to use whatever information you have in your deal. Here, I've got a reference as the deal name, deal ID, and the salesperson, but yours might be configured a little bit differently. Once our invoices are set up and we're happy with how they're looking, the next thing we need to do is check the contact. The contact here is already set up because we've matched the contact name in HubSpot with the contact name in Xero and found a match. If there's no match here, you can either search inside Xero or you can add a new contact straight from the screen. Clicking Add New Contact will fill out all the data that you have in HubSpot, and you can make edits before you send. And when you click Save, this will create the contact inside Xero, ready for you to send the invoice. The currency should be automatically selected for you. And we've also got account and tax settings here if you want to apply the same accounts and taxes to the whole of the invoices. If you're using Xero products, you shouldn't need to use this bit. You may also see tracking categories up here from your Xero account. These allow you to choose and categorize the line items that you're sending over in your invoices. Next, if I want to save a draft and come back to it later, I can do so here. Otherwise, I'm going to go right ahead and click Sync to Xero. Hooray, my invoices have been synced. Now they'll be showing up inside Xero, and you can see I've now got an invoice number shown here. So that's it. You've created your first invoice. Now, any updates to your invoice inside Xero will be kept up to date in HubSpot. And did you know that there are over 20 invoice properties now syncing with your HubSpot deal? Check out our next video for more information.